Hi all, I have an interesting notable game to show you from Blitz chess this time. It was James Fischer, Bobby Fischer against Reuben Fine. Reuben Fine was born in 1914. He grew up in New York City and learned chess at the age of 8. He won several strong American tournaments as a youth, and he turned to international competition. In 1937 he tied with Paul Qe2 to be first at Margate, and at the Avro tournament the next year, he again finished tied for first with Qe2. During World War II, he was employed by the Navy to calculate where enemy submarines might surface. After World War II, he was offered an invitation to the World Championship tournament in 1948, but declined to participate. He retired from chess a few years later in order to pursue a career in psychology. In his short career, he played against 5 world champions. He had overall plus scores against Lasker, Alekhine and Botvinnik, and even records against Capablanca and Max Erber. He was an author of note, and most recognised works being the ideas behind the chess openings and basic chess endgames. This is a Blitz game encounter. He was black against Fischer, so in 1963. It seems there's a set of 5 particular Blitz games, which I think are interesting to go over. So E5 from Reuben Fine. After knight f3, d6, we go into Philidor defense territory. d4, live book recommends taking here on d4. But in this game, knight d7, and we have bishop c4. This is actually a really dangerous continuation by Fischer. It seems just so logical and simple to target the soft spot. Now, black usually plays what was played c6 in this position, but it's known to give white a small advantage. On bishop e7, this continuation is dangerous for black. Yes, this is like pretty dangerous indeed. You see why it's so dangerous, and that's quite a forcing sequence here. Queen d5, it's pretty disastrous. So you see, yeah, c6 is kind of the main move there, which was played, and we have castling, and now bishop e7. But this is known to be good for white now. After d takes, the key move usually played is knight g5 in this position. It's a clever little trick based on f7 to get the bishop pair. Fischer didn't play this actually. Knight g5 as an example takes queen h5. We have this double attack which gets the bishop pair, and it's supposed to be good for white. Now Fischer plays an interesting alternative, queen e2, and it still has a lot of venom behind it potentially. Knight gf6, and now another interesting move, rook d1. Just pinning this knight on d7, and black now maybe wanting to unpin intuitively. Well, also there's knight takes e5 potentially. Black actually played queen c7. Probably best here in the circumstance is the move b5 before doing that. So b5, but in the game, yeah, we see this move queen c7. And now knight g5 is actually really quite dangerous. Black casually castled. Well, what else? It seems a logical move to protect f7. Can you see what white plays in this position now? If I give you 5 seconds, you might want to pause the video, do some analysis. What would you play here with white? So 5 seconds starting from now. Yes, there is a bit of a clue, the f7 target. Okay, I hope you've found the move. Bishop takes f7. It seems actually that all of white's moves come together here with this bishop takes f7. The queen is ideally placed to come to c4 here. So if taking, queen c4. But yeah, black actually, he felt the position was lost and resigned. But let's have a look. So rook takes f7, queen c4. Now black might have, you might think, a resource knight d5 hitting the knight. Now after knight takes f7, yeah, it looks as though, yeah, it's doomed for black, but let's go a bit further. b5, and here, yeah, white's clearly better anyway. He's just won that rook. There's a knight attacked on d5. Probably, yeah, any move here is a massive advantage for white, like queen e2. If knight f4, white can just take here, and then it doesn't matter about the knight being stranded. e5, so there's e6 if taking. That's a simple way. The most incisive in this line is knight h6 check. Then if takes, queen b3, leaving that pin there, and going to go to g3. So knight c5, queen g3 check. This is just the most resourceful kind of defensive try. But yeah, Reuben Fine didn't bother. After bishop takes f7, yeah, he resigned. It's this idea of queen c4. It's pretty crushing here. There's nothing that nothing much else black can do about this pin. He doesn't want to go to h8. His position will be shattered. So yeah, the only try would be knight d5. So yeah, it was a very concise blitz game from Fischer. And yeah, I was in two minds to show you or not. I just thought, but you know, the more I looked at it, the more I thought, well, actually, you know, white's play was really concise and quite clinical. And for a blitz game, it just shows Fischer's great strength at blitz in 1963, and quite clinical tactics. Okay, comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.